Top Gun is one of those movies that attempts to be much more than it grants at face value. From the cover, you would expect a pure action film with Tom Cruise as a fighter pilot, cracking jokes while taking down enemy bogies left and right before he flies off into the sunset. While that does somewhat reflect in the film, what we are given is a tense drama with action, romance, rivalry, difficult gains, and heartfelt loss. It's one of the few movies that I would suggest everyone watch. Like, I wouldn't expect everyone to enjoy Deathstalker 2 as much as I do. Top Gun is, however, a timeless classic that brings you along a roller coaster of emotion, going from exciting highs marked with comedic relief to heartbreaking lows that would force even the manliest of men to struggle at holding that lump in their throat. All the while, you're gripped to the screen and cheering for a jaded hero to succeed, win the day, and the girl. Many filmmakers and critics believe the first 5 minutes of a movie to be the most important. You need to establish the main players with as little screen time as possible, and set up the audience's expectations to get the ball rolling. Right away, the aircraft carrier commander does this when asking who's up in the air after a couple of Russian MiGs fly into American airspace, with the simple line,
Great. Maverick and Goose.
Immediately, we see our pair cracking jokes amidst the enemy and taking great risks just to have a little fun and get what I bet was a great Polaroid. After a little showboating with the Russians, their squadron's top pilot gets a bad case of the heebie-jeebies and quits to go see his wife and kid for the first time. This means Maverick and Goose are now getting slotted to go up against the best of the best at the Navy's premier flight school known as Top Gun. After a quick transition to California, we find our heroes in Testosterone Central. Right away, these guys are sizing each other up, trying to figure out who's the best, each presenting themselves as top dog, hoping to lift the trophy and earn their name on the wall. Here's where we learn from some cleverly placed exposition that these men won't be learning any old flying techniques, but proper dogfighting. They're going to push themselves and their machines to the absolute limits and gain an edge on the enemy, an edge that's built upon a cliff of risk and danger. And boy, is our protagonist built for this kind of thing. But first, we need to go to an oh-so-80s nightclub to blow off some steam and set up the rivalry with Iceman, a no-nonsense, straight-flying foil to contrast our wild-card protagonist. And just to show off his grandiosity, we see how Maverick likes to pick up chicks by poorly serenading them with the Righteous Brothers, getting backed up by his classmates, only to crash and burn. The next day in class, we are introduced to a new instructor known by her call sign Charlie, and oh crap, it's the chick that Maverick was trying to pick up the night before. After this witty repartee between Maverick and Charlie, you could cut the sexual tension with a knife, but Charlie makes it clear that her only interest is in the information that he has from his up-close inverted run with the Russians' newest fighter plane. In his first training mission, Maverick pulls off some crazy moves that even throws instructors for a loop, though he has to break the rules to get his target. After getting chewed out for breaking the rules of engagement and pulling a high-speed flyby, buzzing the command tower and making the world's shortest fuse spill his coffee,
Two of your snot-nosed jockeys did a flyby on my tower at over 400 knots. I want somebody's butt. I want it now. I've had it. God damn it! That's twice!
Goose pushes back against Maverick's bravado by opening up in a truly emotional and calm way that you wouldn't expect from a comedy relief sidekick. A few more missions go by and Maverick and Iceman are neck and neck for taking the prize, but Maverick has to have it all and makes another move for Charlie. This time he's invited over for dinner, purely under the pretense of talking about the Russian MiG. Unfortunately for Charlie, Maverick is far too smooth and tells her to just enjoy their time together. Here's where he opens up and we learn about his past and how his father died in some secretive dogfight in Vietnam. At this point, the movie has set up our action, rivalry, romance, and drama, and I'm going to stop going over the plot here because it deserves to be viewed as intended rather than heard through my shoddy breakdown of events. Suffice to say, our cocky hero gets knocked down a few pegs and has to overcome his demons both past and present, in what may be the highest velocity climax in film history. Top Gun tells a really tight story, with almost no dead or unnecessary scenes, well, excluding the volleyball scene, which we could go without, but it does help to establish one of the themes of the movie: sweaty masculinity.
What's your problem, Kazansky?
You're everyone's problem. That's because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe. I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right. Ice, man. I am dangerous.
This film is unapologetically masculine. Everyone involved in the Top Gun program has earned the right to be there through an excellent performance displayed by their own capabilities. In a day and age where male characters are typically running around frantically, waiting to be told what to do, or just getting outperformed by their female counterparts, Top Gun stands to remind us of a time when achievement was applauded and admired, and masculinity didn't have to be appended with the word toxic. This doesn't mean that Charlie is just there to be a damsel in distress waiting to be saved by our hero. She has earned the right to be an instructor, has several degrees in aeronautics and aviation, she's observant and intellectual, and she has the gusto to reach out and grab what she wants, even if she has to risk her own career and safety to do it. The cast is solid, with Tom Cruise as Maverick, Anthony Edwards as Goose, Kelly McGillis as Charlie. They're all supported by Tom Skerritt, Michael Ironside, Meg Ryan, and Val Kilmer. There's a mega shitload of commanding presence on screen here, with the exception of Meg Ryan, who only appears in 3 scenes. Every time Michael Ironside comes into view, he pulls your attention his way and is only outclassed by Tom Skerritt, who plays the lead instructor Viper. Viper's demeanor really matches his call sign. He's calm and collected until he's crossed, at which time he strikes with a cool and unemotional precision.
I had the shot. There was no danger, so I took it.
You took it. And broke a major rule of engagement. Then you broke another one with that circus stunt flyby. Lieutenant Mitchell, Top Gun rules of engagement exist for your safety and for that of your team. They are not flexible, nor am I. Either obey them or you are history. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Val Kilmer plays Iceman, an equally arrogant and cocky foil to Maverick, who always plays by the rules and waits for his opponent to wear themselves down and make a mistake, kinda like a defensive boxer. In a movie that doesn't have a concrete enemy, Kilmer does a great job as a rival who wants to win for himself, but is still on the same team. And despite his conceit, Iceman is willing to apologize when he hurts Maverick, but also isn't afraid to speak his mind when he doubts Maverick's abilities and lives are on the line. The cinematography is good, if not a little conventional at times, at least for the normal scenes. It does, however, stand out once the planes leave the ground. The high-speed training and combat missions cut from claustrophobic shots of the men in their cockpits to shots of the full plane hanging in the center of the screen, followed by wide shots of jets whizzing past at Mach 2. I really love these scenes. They remind me of being a kid and going to air shows to watch the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds perform death-defying mid-air stunts. This brings us to the pilots. Most of the flight scenes were performed by the F-14 fighter squadron known as the Screaming Eagles. They were filmed with either on-ground cameras or from another jet. Though the movie did come out of Hollywood land where things are make-believe, the aerial stunts were still dangerous and deadly. Unfortunately, famed pirate Art Scholl died after he was unable to recover control of his plane while filming the flat spin scene. Neither the craft nor his body were ever found, but the film was dedicated in his honor. Top Gun is, frankly, kick-ass. The characters are memorable, the story is motivating, the stunts are jaw-dropping, and you just feel good after watching it. It comes out of an era of cinema history that I like to call the kick-ass period. And it runs from the late 70s to the late 80s, where heroes were just normal humans that were either larger than life, or they were put into situations that seemed more than they could handle, and they persevered despite a series of setbacks. Typically it was some kick-ass hero doing kick-ass things and kicking their conflicts' asses after having their own asses kicked, but more importantly, Top Gun was able to achieve something that has been lost to modern Hollywood films. It's lost the ability to make the audience feel something. I truly feel excited when the planes are zipping past. I feel sorrow for Maverick's loss, joy when he overcomes tragedy, and I laugh when Goose acts like a goofball. Most of all, I feel nostalgia for a time when movies were fun first, and the creative team's personal politics came second, if at all. When the hero was flawed but capable, and conquering a difficulty was a personal struggle that could be won through perseverance and doing what was right, even though it wasn't easy. When the story was more important than the message, and the characters' motivations were their own, and not just used as some platform for the writer's politics. where the actors' abilities were more important than their skin color, genitals, or sexual preference, and when patriotism was commended, and the directors wouldn't reach through the screen, grab me by the collar, and call me a bigot, just because I don't think the way they want me to. It makes me miss that time when movies were just fun. And I wonder if we're ever going to have that again. Thanks for listening to this review of Top Gun. It truly is one of my favorites, and if you haven't seen it before, I hope you give it a try. If you have any comments, please leave them down below, and if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel and give it a share. That's what would really help me right now. Either way, have a wonderful day, and never be afraid to speak your mind.